the 49ers, somehow they had a long to-do list this offseason. They're able to take care of Brandon Aiyuk. How else? Because it felt like there was a piece of paper on the table in early August, and now it's been signed. What happened over the last couple of weeks to add on what Rap Sheet just said?
Well, this very much feels like a marriage of convenience here, where you had two sides that both didn't have a better option as things went along, even though both sides continued to explore those other options. You had several other teams involved between the Patriots and the Browns, and obviously the Steelers, which became clear that was the only place Brandon Aiyuk was willing to go if he did not come back to the 49ers. There was some speculation online yesterday. This was the same deal. It'd been there for 3 weeks. His agent, Ryan Williams, actually took to X to post that's factually inaccurate, but the check still cashes. Here's my understanding of how this played out. The 49ers had been, once they re-engaged several weeks ago, around $29 million. Brandon Aiyuk had it in his head that to do this deal, it needed to be $30. And we can all look at that and say, logically, what's the difference? What are you going to do with the extra $1 million per year? Does it actually matter, especially if it's in the back portion of the deal here? But the 49ers didn't want to move. Aiyuk didn't want to move. As recently as the past few days, the 49ers were making another round of calls to some of the other teams, not just to see, hey, could we still trade Brandon Aiyuk? Could we revive one of these trades that would get us a receiver? But also calling some of the other teams and seeing, hey, could we get a different receiver if we trade him to the Steelers because they didn't have a receiver to give? The 49ers couldn't find any other solution. They're a team that's trying to win the Super Bowl right now. Their best opportunity to do that is with Brandon Aiyuk or someone like Brandon Aiyuk. You couldn't get the stunt double. You have Aiyuk himself. They went the rest of the way, and they got the contract done.
Well done, stunt double. I like that because, I mean, it's just going to be very hard to kind of replicate what Brandon Aiyuk has been for that team and kind of just what he brings, as a wide receiver. But the one thing, I've been saying this whole time, I think, a lot of people were like, oh, yeah, get rid of him, trade him, just hurry up. And I was like, no, you guys are missing it. There is a window. The window is real. I just went through a home remodel. I can tell you, first off, windows are expensive. And so you want to cherish it when you have them. Brandon Aiyuk is just turned 26 years old not too long ago. And you look at this. I want you guys to take a look at the ages of some of their star players here. Look at this. Christian McCaffrey, 28. Deebo Samuel. Brandon Aiyuk, 26. He's very young. When you get to that number 30, like George Kittle, Trent Williams, 36 years old. These guys are, in football term, considered old. Now, I'm not saying they're not productive. I'm just saying that they're considered old. So when you have a young star, you got to pay him because once he gets out of this contract, he's going to be at that quote-unquote old number. So this was a smart move for them to do it. Take advantage. I mean, this team has been really, really good. I mean, they're right there on the cusp of getting to to winning the Super Bowl. Don't mess it up and mess up the bag and I'm not talking about the money bag. I'm talking about the Super Bowl bag by not signing Aiyuk. So great job for the 49ers. To me, the headline should go that they caved to Brandon Aiyuk. That's just a joke, but but they did kind of cave to him because he was like, yo, I'm that good, and you know it.
He is good. He is back. Congratulations to him. Happy for him. Happy for Kyle Shanahan. Happy for Brock Purdy. Too bad for the Steelers et al. Who might have got him. In the end, likely the best team in the NFC got likely the 14th best receiver in the NFL at a deal that wasn't crazy and wasn't horrible. Has there ever been a more boring resolution to a story that we have talked about nonstop for weeks and weeks and weeks? This is just like, okay, no crazy twists. No, he's holding out. He's in the stands for their first game. Do you know how many times we've talked about this for the end like this? These are actual topics and questions we have asked on this show over the last month. Let's just go. What's a Brandon Aiyuk landing spot? What would Brandon Aiyuk do for the Steelers offense? What will the loss of Brandon Aiyuk mean for the 49ers? How valuable is Brandon Aiyuk to the 49ers offense? Where does Brandon Aiyuk come out on fracking? Are the 49ers making a mistake not keeping Brandon Aiyuk? Are the Steelers the favorites in the AFC North with Brandon Aiyuk? What Denny's menu item would Brandon Aiyuk be? Is Brandon Aiyuk a top 5 player on the 49ers? If not, let's rank our top 5. And finally, what do we make of the 49ers keeping Brandon Aiyuk? Great. Not much. Happy for him. Happy for the Niners. The juice was not worth the squeeze. a full anticlimactic ending for something we thought might be really dramatic, at least blow our socks off with some kind of crazy, unprecedented deal, or maybe he gets hosed and takes a bad deal. At least that's something we can talk about. Until then, they signed him. He'll probably have 5 catches for 71 yards against the Jets. Congratulations to Brandon Aiyuk. That ends all the questions. It's probably a good thing.
Kyle, I was off that day. Where did Aiyuk come out on fracking?
You wouldn't believe it, Tom, but originally in college, he was anti-fracking, and then he changed his stance, and he has not made it exactly clear why he changed his stance, but his principles and morals have not changed, and that's important for a wide receiver in the NFC West.